Hey there, fellow brewers. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Dwarf Fortress. Episode 3, Firing Up the Still because Dwarves. Now that we have some actual stockpiles, let's put them down. So around the kitchen, again, this is where the kitchen is. This is going to be prepared meals. So, custom, food, prepared meals. Done. No barrel. Actually, barrels are fine. Yeah. No wheelbarrows. We don't need to wheelbarrow our food. We're not Homer Simpson. Alright, so we have prepared meals around the kitchen. And then around the brewery, we're going to want, we're going to want two things. We're going to want empty pots, rock pots, to brew in, and then also plants. So let's put in both. So here will be the plants to brew. All brewing plants. And in food, any drink plant. Oh, no. Sorry. Any plants. And we're just going to have to cherry pick them. Which is, interestingly enough, I don't think cherries. Plump helmet. Let's see. I wish there was an easier way to do this. Maybe there is, but... So we're brewing with barley, plump helmets, prickleberries, wild carrots. Alright. Barley. Prickleberry. Wild carrot. So that's 4. Alright, what else? We're brewing with rope reeds, ratweed, long grass, fisherberries. So rope, rat, long fish. I'll try to remember that. Oops. Rope reed, ratweed, long land grass, and fisherberries. I think that is all the brewables. So 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that is all the known brewables. Got it. So, then here we want empty pots. Custom. Oh god, where are pots? Oh shoot. Is it a finished good out of rock? I forget where it is. Storage, food. Dwarf Fortress is like, it's got a lot of menus. Rock. No, it wouldn't be rock. God, where are rock pots? I don't even know. Well, I can circle back to that later. Then the other stockpile that we're going to have is going to be here. And this is going to be just like kitchen food. Uncooked food. So custom food, not prepared meals, not seeds. Oops. Not seeds, not prepared meals, and not booze or mead. Not unprepared fish. Ah, it's a type of furniture. Okay, I'll take a look at that in just a moment. All right, so I think those are the things that we're going to cook with. And it does, however, include the ingredients that were in the brewing plants, and I can fix that later, but the distance here is not great enough for me to care all that much. And then another stockpile here, and this will be booze. But you can guess what's going to go here. Food, drink, booze. So it is a type of furniture, huh? Stone clay. It is, under barrels? Yeah. So, barrels made of stone or clay. I hope that works. If it doesn't, oh well. Our brewer will just have to make an extra run. Alright, we'll get that built. And then I might want a dedicated brewer, but I don't think anyone in our colony has, like, brewing skills just yet. So if we go to work skills and add a new work detail, I'm going to call this brewer. Having a dedicated cook and a dedicated brewer is, like, would be nice. So what the brewer does here, if we go to all of, and this is all the work types, and some work types are way more important than others. So for instance, like, weaponsmithing or blacksmithing is way, you know, like, weaponsmithing is really important, whereas, like, gelding, not so much, right? Like, I don't care if you're amazing at gelding, whatever, you know? So there's a lot of different work skills, and your individual dwarves can have skills in these things. And some of them are just unbelievably useless. So you're going to want, like, a good jeweler, you're going to want a good metalsmith, you're going to want a good brewer, perhaps, and maybe a chef. But for my brewer, it's going to be brewing only. And it doesn't look like anyone has related brewing skills. It's possible in the first immigration wave we'll get a good brewer, though. So I don't need to make the decision. I don't need to specialize someone just yet. We can wait to see if a brewer shows up, because perhaps it will. Another thing to notice, my dwarves have been eating raw carrots and raw garden cress, and as a result, I now have garden cress seeds and carrot seeds. Which is why, like, if you eat raw, you gain the seeds, but if you cook with, you don't. I'm not too worried about eating the carrot seeds, because we'll have plenty of stuff to farm anyway. But the farm is still not done. Alright, my dedicated miners I'm going to release from their dedication, because I don't have any other excavation tasks to do at the moment. I'm going to work and focus on the kitchen first. So I've lifted that restriction so they can do all tasks. Is my civilization at war with anyone? Not as far as I know. We are at peace. I mean, we just started, so it'd be really strange to immediately be thrown into a war. Not impossible, but pretty strange. Alright, come on guys, build the still already. It's not suspended, just do it. They're all sleeping or something? They might just be hauling in, well, there's 3 people working at the Yeah, they're making pots and mugs. You're making doors and thrones. Oops. And you're making beds and bins. All right, so they're doing the thing that they're supposed to be doing. It also wouldn't be a terrible idea for a standing order of wheelbarrows. Now think about it. Wheelbarrows will help you haul things better. So, let's see. Work order. Carpenter. Wooden wheelbarrow. Make it out of willow. And if less than 10 and logs greater than 10, make one. I still have one person with neutral. The person who's neutral, is the Fisher Dwarf. I'm not too worried about it. He's not upset. He's neutral. He had to drink without a goblet, sleep without a proper room, got caught in the rain, and I've already fixed one of those issues. I mean, it's one of these things like there'll be growing pains early on, and that's just like to be expected. All right, come on, guys, build the thing. Let's see what they're actually doing. Drinking, storing, constructing a building. Oh, okay. Are you... Oh, you're constructing a table. Okay. I was hoping that they were constructing the still. No. So, if I'm not mistaken, other than unprepared fish, I think I have stockpiles for all other foods. So let's go to our default stockpile up here and go to custom and say no foods. Except for unprepared fish. Because there's no other valid place to put unprepared fish just yet. But it's also why I haven't designated a fishing zone, so that I don't have need of fish processing at the moment. There we go, I see the kitchen going. Now, I have 157 food, so, like, I don't really need to be cooking anything right now, so I'm not even going to be queuing up a cooking task at the moment. Oh, and we just had 2 migrants show up. Our first immigrant wave. Well, one's a minor and one's a child. 3-year-old. You came with your mother? And your father, I think, is about to show up? I happen to have a 3-year-old. Not one who values tranquility. God, I wish. But, yeah, personality. Great analytical abilities. Good sense of position of her own body, and good creativity. Okay. Yep, they're showing up now. So the mother, let's take a look at you. You are a competent mace dwarf and bow dwarf, so you could be a hunter. You can use armor and a shield, sorta. And you can mine. Let's see. But not as well as the other people, so I'm going to take you off of the queue. Although, did you have a pick on you? Because I don't want you to drop your pick out there. I don't think you actually showed up with a pick. So, where's your husband? Did you just show up without your husband? Did you just steal 2 children and run away? So we have a 3-year-old and who are you? 2-year-old. The father's a peasant who's not present. Oh, there he is, I think. Yep. Okay, and he's a peasant. So peasants are basically unskilled at things. He's a competent mace dwarf. He's a tracker and he can climb. I am going to make Godin here our brewer. He doesn't really have any other necessary skills, so, like, why not becoming our brewer, our specialized brewer? So if I go to the brewer I am going to attach Godin to it, and I'm going to lock him to it. All he does is brew. All right. Given that he is our designated brewer, I think it is time to raffle him off. Timer's up there, and good luck. Now that he's a brewer, let's actually reassess, make sure that we're brewing everything that we should. Yep, that looks right. So, easiest way to brew up stuff is work order. Go to your still. Brew from plant. 999. And then go to the still. Brew from fruit. 999. Basically no conditions. Just brew. Always be brewing. Like a dwarf should. And he'll be coming down here and we'll see the work order issued to the still pretty soon. And he's just gonna brew. Getting our drinks back up. There it is. Brew from plant, brew from fruit. And these might fail if I don't have empty rock pots, or they might fail if I run out of material. But, yeah. The idea is that he will be a master brewer. So, we got 4 people, 2 children. Children, I breezed over this really early on, but children can do some, like, very, very, very basic tasks, which are called chores. So they can feed patients and prisoners, they can milk, they can haul, they can bury people, they can clean, and they can operate levers. You can also tell them not to do chores, or you can tell them to not do specific chores. But I'm going to leave them on all for now. I don't have prisoners or patients, so I'm not worried about that. Okay. Yeah. And he just put a fisherberry in there. Shouldn't fisherberries go in here? I think they should. Let's try to remember what those foods are that get brewed. Oh, this is... Wait, where... Uncooked food. Plants. Barley? No. Oh boy. Prickleberries. Boy. This is fisherberries. Long grass. I wish there was just a subset of, like, things that you can brew. Plump helmets, prickleberries, ratweed, wild carrots. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm missing one. What was it? Rope reed. I was missing rope reed. This is like a level of micromanagement. This unnecessary, but you know, whatever. Rope reed. Okay, there we go. So we're actually starting to store the food that should be stored down here, as you can see, which is good to see. And then, for point of reference, our drinks are currently at 32. So let's see if the brewer actually brews. So we open up the Citizens tab, and as you can see, he's locked to brewing. So that's all he does. He's going to brew all day long, all night long. And make sure that we have booze. And I think he's making his first brew. Yep, plump helmet brew. So once he brews up the plump helmets, the seeds of the plump helmet can then be used to sow a farm back again. There it is, Dwarven wine pot. He brewed. And this is the booze. So we're starting to store booze in our area here. Awesome. And drinks are up to 52 now. All right. Still don't have the farm plots gone. Ooh, God, guys, come on. Taking forever. Oh, and you can see wheelbarrows being used. This is the wheelbarrow we arrived with, which is a black cap wood wheelbarrow. But it will help to move things around. Brew drink from fruit was canceled because I don't have fermentable fruit. So let's, just so that I don't get a bunch of those cancellation warnings, I think what I'm going to do is put conditions on that in a minute. But, Mr. Brewer, you are officially dubbed Terminal Serenity. Alright, let's add conditions so that I'm not... oops, that's not what I meant to do. Work order. Brew from fruit. If unrotten fermentable leaves of fruit is greater than 1. And empty food storage items is greater than 1. And we'll do a similar condition for the plants. If unrotten fermentable plants is greater than 1, and associated food storage items greater than 1. There. So now it shouldn't, like, throw a bunch of errors constantly. Sweet. All right. The next thing I want to set up is the farm. So I'm not going to queue up any other tasks until this farm plot is actually built. But it looks like Tal here is actually building it. Partially constructing. Perfect. I had waited to do this because it's kind of important to start farming early on so that we can have a steady supply. So this farm here, in the spring, summer, autumn, and winter, we're going to plant plump helmets. Basically, it's the plump farm. Plump helmet plot. And this one is going to be for pigtails. And only pigtails. Probably. Alright, so in the spring, pigtails, summer pigtails, autumn pigtails, winter fallow, spring fallow. It's just the pigtail plot. Pigtails is a cloth material. It's not like chopped off tails of pigs. Totally, understandably confusing. And look, our seed bags are actually getting hauled. Going to where they're supposed to be going. I love it. So, our dining room is starting to look a bit dining room-ish. Pretty handy. And, the next thing I wanted to do is to lay out some basic, maybe what I'll do is I'll put a dorm room in. Again, it's going to be somewhat of a temporary dorm room. And this room can serve a different purpose at a later date. Which is like a 9x5 dorm room. And then, after we get a dorm room that isn't just like a random hallway, I want to start building a actual crafting area for stonework, craftwork, and carpentry. So current priority is build a dorm. Good. And checking in on our pastured animals. Cool. Everyone's assigned. So that the excavation goes a little faster, you're only allowed to mine. And our drinks went from, what, 32 to 96? Yeah. We be still in, man. I like it. Oh, there we go. That was quick. So, furniture. Doors. Done. And we'll start putting in the beds. So I have 4 willow beds that I'll put in first, and then I'll remove the beds from the hallway and put them in here. I just don't want to leave them without a dorm. We still have some hauling to do, because there's still stuff, like, just left out here. One of the reasons why I haven't queued up a lot of other tasks, because I feel like I've overburdened them. All right, now that there's, look at this kid building a bed. What are you, 2? You're 3 years old and you built a bed? Amazing. Alright, now that we have this dorm, this is the default dorm. Whoa, wow, look at that typing. Defiant something. Default dorm. I'm going to go up to the other dorm and nuke it. And then I'm going to remove the beds that were built here and relocate them to the dorm below. Oh, there he goes again. 3-year-old building a bed. I'm not going to question it. Do we build more beds? I'm always building more beds. I have a work order to build X amount of beds until we have X amount of beds unstocked. So the things that I have standing work orders to, you like never have to worry about because I'm always making them. That's how work orders work. So this work order says if I have less than 3 uninstalled beds, I make them. So I will always, as long as I have willow wood, I will always have 3 beds to be placed at all times. And the same is true for all the other work orders, which is doors, chairs, tables, mugs, pots, bins, wheelbarrows, and always brewing. And the reason why I'm not cooking yet is we still have 124 food, which is enough for 11 people to live for like a year. So, actually, that math might be wrong. What is it? I think we eat 44 season, so that's like enough for like half a year. Can you define work orders with quality? No. But the quality of the bed that you sleep on, it's not like a room world where you get more sleep. It's just worth more. So these beds have different values. So like this bed is worth about 10. This bed is higher quality, so it's worth the same anyway. Most of these beds are the same quality. This bed is worth a little bit more. Yeah, value 20. And the way I can tell is this symbol here. These plus signs indicate quality. Right? So this one's a little bit more valuable because it was superior quality. This one is finely crafted quality, whereas this one is just like default quality. This one is well crafted. And you get used to seeing these little dashes, stars, etc., indicating quality. And as your craftsmen get better at their jobs, the quality will go up. So now we have a bedroom of 10 beds for 11 pop. That's fine. And the old dorm is gone, so I can create a stock room that like is just a little bit bigger because this thing's a big mess. And don't worry, we'll be working on it. So now that we have a dorm, the next project is build stonework, carpentry, and craft workplaces. And we'll talk about the design. So what I would want is I'm going to build for scale so that we can scale up easily. So what I would like is 7x7s. We can put this back to default 4. 7x7s And the other thing is, people don't want to sleep near where the work is done. Or, well, actually, the workplaces don't generate noise. It's the taverns, dining, temples generate noise. I'm a little iffy about what generates noise. But, what I'm aiming to do is to have a work district. So let's redesign this a little bit. There we go. So we'll have stonework, carpentry, and craft work here. And then in the middle of each tile, I'm going to have a stairwell that goes to an associated stock room for that work below. And then this one will just be for X. I mean, I haven't done it yet. So here we'll mine a stairwell down. And that way, the workplace can exist on top of the stockpiles required. So the concept is, if you have a... in a small stockpile here, we'll have finished goods. And then below, we'll have the raw stone for the stoneworker, the raw wood for the woodworker, so on and so forth, in a stockpile just below. And that way, the finished goods and the stockpiles are not physically that far from the trade area, so that we can easily, maybe this will be a jeweler. We can easily relocate, the goods that we want to sell to the trade depot. And this is going to need more miners, so I'll queue up more miners. Look at them drinks. How's our fire? Oh, hey, look at that. Pigtails and plum helmets going in. And we'll talk about fertilizer later. I'm not making ash and potash and fertilizer just yet. That's a future project. Okay. So, workshop, stoneworker. And for now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 2 of each. The reason I have multiples is if you have a strange mood, which is like a work inspiration. So let's say someone is inspired to make something on a stoneworker's workshop. Let's say it's like a door. Said workshop is going to be in lockdown during that strange mood. So while the dwarf is inspired, they take over an entire workplace. So if you only have one of each workplace and you have a strange mood, it totally blocks all other work orders that would have otherwise been done. So that's why you're going to want at least 2, if not more, depending on the volume of work orders for that facility. And then once that's built, I'm just going to get rid of the ones in the trade area. And let's go ahead and actually build the trade hub now. So that when the caravan comes, because it's already late summer, when the caravan comes, I'm prepared to do some trading. Hey, Turtle, thank you for the cheer. Okay, that's been excavated. Let's put in the depot. And I will build it with the walnut wood logs. So I no longer have any walnut wood. Is there a storage container for things like stone, or is it just left on the floor? So some things are just too big to be put into containers. The same is true of like RimWorld, right? You don't put stone chunks in things. Don't forget to remove the entry wall for the doors for the caravan path. Yes, right. I have those. I will... Well, the first caravan is not, wagoned. So I don't... It's not something I'm going to immediately worry about, but you're right. I should eventually consider that. So I'll prepare for that now. So wall here. And then doors on either side. There we go. Okay, the stoneworkers have been relocated. Now we're going to want to create a stockpile here. Oops. Of course, I immediately cancel my stockpile. Put a stockpile here of the stuff that comes off of this workplace. For now, I'm going to have it be none. But this is going to be stone work stockpile. And then the stoneworker up here is going to get removed. So what do we make here? The stonework stockpile currently makes doors, thrones, tables. So let's allow for those things. Doors, thrones, tables that are made out of stone. And then below, this will be a 9x9 of just like raw stone. And it can go even deeper, right? I can have another 9x9 underneath this one for raw stone and so on and so forth. Or it could expand upwards. But the idea is that we have the resources that the industry requires stored below. And I'll just interconnect these two. So that if we need to move goods from one stockpile to the other, it's no problem. A lot of mining. Oh, cave-in question? Things don't cave in. You could, if you wanted to, provided that the whole zone is empty, you could just mine out everything. There isn't a risk like that. It's not like RimWorld where the roof will collapse. All right. Just waiting on the last of this to be excavated. But they're doing a pretty good job of land clearing for this. Is our brewer asleep? Nope. Oh, okay. I'm gonna also give him the title of brewer, and let's take a look at his skills. He's a dabbling brewer now. He's built up some skills. So there it is. We've got terminal velocity, the brewer. I'm so proud. Yeah, cave-ins are not, they're kind of hard to describe, but basically cave-ins are as a result of like removal of ramps more than the removal of like the top Z levels. Thank you for tuning in to Dwarf Fortress, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhodamont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow dwarves.